In today's video, I'm going to be taking a look at this active foam cannon. So this is still a fairly new foam cannon to the market, particularly in the UK, and it was kindly sent by cleanyourcar.co.uk to test out and get my thoughts on. So I'm going to be taking a look at the performance and the features as well, so you can see if it's a suitable option for you if you're in the market for a high-end foam cannon. So first starting off with what you actually get with this, and you do get quite a lot of spare parts and a few kind of bitty pieces to it. Most notably, there's some O-rings, which are very helpful, but one spare part that I was hoping to see but unfortunately didn't come with is a spare filter. You can of course take apart your foam cannon and clean the filter that you've got, but it is always nice if there's an extra one included. On the plus side though, it does come with plenty of orifices, so you're not going to go out and have to make another purchase, and there should be an option to suit your setup. So the one that comes fitted is the 1.25, but they also supply you with a 1.1, a 1.35 and a 1.45, and there's some instructions on the leaflet as to which to choose depending on your pressure washer. To change that orifice, you're just going to need to remove that adapter at the back. Now I've got the 1/4 inch quick release one, but they also do come with cartridge and nil-fisk ones as well. And then you can just swap it out for whichever you need with a flat-headed screwdriver. There wasn't really any setup out the box here, apart from just to pop that pickup pipe on the actual head unit, and then it was ready to go. So I'll first just take you through the design and features. Now this is a very nice looking foam cannon, in part due to the smoked plastic bottle, which looks really cool, and also some nice stainless steel on the head unit as well, which is a more premium material that some foam cannons are starting to use now. So with the spray pattern, you can adjust this to be horizontal and vertical, and you can adjust that fan width to be either a narrow jet or a much wider fan for more coverage. You can spin that front part on the nozzle to adjust the fan width, and this does feel very loose, so I am a little bit concerned about picking it up and accidentally knocking it out of place, but it is going to be very easy to turn back into place, so not really much of a problem. To adjust between the horizontal and vertical pattern, you can twist the section behind it, and a really nice feature of this is that it does click when you turn it, which is only a little thing but something that does make it feel a bit nicer. The nozzle part of this head unit is a matte plastic that doesn't have too much texture to it, and then the yellow part on the front is rubberised, which again is a nice touch. This is a wide mouth foam cannon, very comparable to the MJJC Pro foam cannons, so it does make it much easier to both fill, but more importantly to actually rinse out the foam cannon if you are putting a new chemical in the bottle. It's a threaded connection onto the bottle, so no kind of quick quarter turn feature like you see on the MJJC S and Pro V3, and also the MTM PF22.3. It does have a rubber gasket underneath it though, so it fits nice and securely and feels snug when it's on there. The bottle also has an anti-leak design, which is a very handy feature, so if you do happen to knock your foam cannon over, your solution isn't going to come pouring out the top. It has a weighted ball on the end of that pickup pipe. The pickup pipe itself is very flexible, which helps you collect the solution even when there's very little left in the bottle. When I looked a little bit closer at the weighted ball, I did notice that it didn't have any mesh screening on it, which would be a nice feature in order to stop any debris getting sucked up that pickup pipe, but hopefully you shouldn't have any in the bottle anyway. The bottle itself is made from PET plastic, which gives it that clear look. Now, PET isn't best known for its durability compared to other plastics like HDPE, so I'm going to be careful not to drop this to stay on the safe side. But this kind of plastic does have the added benefit of making it very easy to see what's inside your bottle and how much you have left. There are some nice clear measurements on the side, up to 1000ml in 100ml increments. The bottle does also have a kind of tripod shape, which means it's quite hard to tip it over, even when it is empty, and it does make it easy to pick up as well. So I'm going to jump into a foam test now and see how it performs with a couple of different snow foams. So first up, I'm using Dodo Juice Apple Eye Foam and a 1:9 dilution. The foam here I thought had a really nice consistency. It wasn't sort of super thick and like shaving cream that tends to drop off the panel quite quickly, but had a nice kind of dense, even covering that coated the car really well. Next up, I tried DIY Detail Incredible Suds, which does produce a very thick foam. I went for a 1:20 dilution here, and you can still see that the foam was pretty thick. It wasn't really overly thick, and it did even out quite nicely on the panel, but I wouldn't really want to go much more concentrated with this product, as it risks just being way over the top. Now, I also did want to take a look at it side by side with the MJJC Pro V3 that I reviewed on this channel a short while ago. Here I went for Geon foam at a 1:10 dilution and split that evenly between the two foam cannons. The consistency was definitely different going onto the panel. On the active, it was a little bit of sort of a wetter consistency, whereas it looked a bit thicker and drier with the MJJC. When I monitored the dwell time over the course of about 5 minutes though, they both evened out on the panel and looked pretty similar at this point. Now, I didn't want this to turn into a full comparison between the Active and the MJJC Pro V3, as I am planning a full comparison video of all the foam cannons that I own, including the MTM, the other MJJCs, my Carscope and a Carbon Collective one too, and that's going to go really in depth if you are looking for a new foam cannon. But I did just want to touch on the few different features between these two, as they both sit in a very similar price bracket and are probably going to be quite commonly compared against each other. So the Active is a little bit more expensive than the Pro V3, so the Active is $84.95 and the Pro V3 is $79.95. For both of these I do have discount codes in the description, so if you are looking to make a purchase then hopefully that should help out a bit. In terms of the features that these both share, they both have horizontal and vertical fan adjustment, they both have leak-proof bottles, and they also have a weighted ball on the end of the pickup pipe, but the Active one, it doesn't have that mesh screening. In terms of the advantages of the Active over the Pro V3, it has a full stainless steel head. On the MJJC, it's mostly stainless steel, but there's a little bit of brass. It's not a massive issue though, brass tends to look a little bit tarnished after a while, but from my experience in terms of durability, I don't think there's anything wrong with brass. With the Active, you are getting an extra 1.45mm orifice, which may be of use to you, depending on your pressure washer. And also, you get a marginally wider bottleneck with the Active, although they both are wide necks and very similar to each other. With the Pro V3, you are getting some advantages, including the quick turn head connection compared to the threaded connection on the Active. They both have different bottle materials as well, so on the Active, it's PET, and on the Pro V3, it's polypropylene. Generally, polypropylene is going to be a little bit better at surviving a drop. The Pro V3 also has a slightly higher capacity at 1200ml compared to the Active's 1000ml. There also is a 28mm thread on the head unit of the Pro V3, so you can connect it to a normal bottle should you want to. And finally, instead of coming with the 1.45mm orifice that the Active does, the MJJC does come with a spare filter. Now, as I said, I'm going to be doing a full comparison later in the year of both these two and all the other foam cannons that I own, when I'm going to go into more depth in terms of the features and do plenty of foam tests as well. So that's going to go up on the main channel, Autocare HQ. If you are interested in that, then I will leave a link in the description to either the channel if the video is not up yet, or the video if it is by the time you're watching this. All the chemicals and foam cannons I've used here will be linked in the description, and if you have found this video helpful, then it'd be brilliant if you could drop it a like, and thanks for watching.